Welcome to episode 87 of Live with the Glitter Practitioner. That is me, Dr. Nupi Aurora. I got all my times mixed up today. I had no idea. Never mind. It's 7 p.m. here. Normally the show is at 8 p.m. But because of the change in PTT timing, anyway, it doesn't matter. It's a good job I was ready tonight. For those of you who don't know me, I am a bit giddy pants tonight because my beautiful, beautiful fairy friend is joining me this evening, and I can't wait. So for those of you, I'm going to center myself. For those of you who don't know me, I am a doctor, a general practitioner, family physician in the UK, and I'm also a transformation life coach and speaker, and I am passionate about what I do. It's more than what I do, actually. It's everything. It's the essence of how I practice medicine, who I am, how I am as a person, which is mind, body, and soul. Tuning in to self, into the heart space, and bringing this out into the art of medicine. And it's incredible that I get to do something every day that I absolutely friggin' love. And this really, the way I practice, which is showing and sharing with others how to realign their whole self-health needs, understanding even what those are, and then keeping them in balance, keeping them topped up. This is something I learned the hard way, which is usually the case. And it was through my experience of burnout, which literally brought me to my knees, which was about 13, 14 years ago. But it was from that came my breakthrough, my awakening, I guess. And everything I learned for myself is what I share with patients. And it's intertwined, connected, and I've integrated really into daily practice with the conventional medical model of care through my F-list. And I think my brand story speaks volumes, actually. It by the insanely talented Devon James Stinson, who has just done It's a Piece of Heart, is all I will say. So without further ado, Mr. Producer, may we have the brand story, please?
Follow the light through the storm. And this is not a light that warns, it's a light that forms on the pathway ahead. So you can maneuver around disaster instead of getting stopped by the obstacles. It just takes changing the obstacles. And then the impossible turns to possible. And then the storm lifts. You're no longer adrift. Breathe, focus, you've got this. Ahead you see a figure, a kind soul, and on the inside it feels like you might glow. Your endless cycles of cyclones have been turned to a breeze that just slightly blows. You're adorned with glitter, where you literally feel like a kid again. And this is when you realize how much of your life you've missed. And then you talk more with Dr. Nupi Aurora, who will holistically change your aura, where you and the new you won't be like strangers. No, you'll be like friends. Because this whole process is simply life-changing. So if you're feeling frazzled and you want to find your fizz and dazzle, then book a call with Dr. Nupi Aurora by messaging her right here on LinkedIn.
I've just been swaying gently to all of that. I love it. Right. Without further ado. Oh, hi, Dina. Oh, I better stop doing that. Yes. Okay. Without further ado, I am going to bring on my beautiful guest tonight, Miss Raschell Harlingten. Hi. Oh, we're just sorting things out. It's all fine. Oh, okay. Where did she go? She'll be back in a minute. Hi, Dina. Thank you so much for joining us today. Do let me know where you're joining us in comments for me. And back to Studio One. I think Rochelle's having a few technical issues, but it will.
I'm back.
Hi.
Today has been a very strange day. There's some weird energy going on.
Probably. Is it? Where are we in the moon cycle thing?
No idea.
No, neither do I. Hi. You look gorgeous.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming on again and for a part 2.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It is a weird energy actually, because oh my God, guess who's here?
Who's here?
I'll wait for Russ.
Lily's here too. Hello, Lily.
Oh, this is amazing. Well, the reason I wanted to have you on specifically today, number one, it is a couple of days before your birthday, which I wanted to celebrate with you. And it is the launch of yourself, Lily Lee, and Dina. Don't know why I said that. Dina Fortune's beautiful book, which I would love for you to share with us.
Yes.
The Journey of Transformation. I've had to write it down because I always forget the last bit. Through the art of words and codes.
Yes.
You've got a real copy. Oh my goodness.
Lily's like, oh my God. Yes. Well, we ordered proofs for all of them just to make sure everything was good.
Yeah. Yes.
We're very excited, all of us, for it to come out on the spring equinox, which is Wednesday.
Yes.
And this has been a long journey. This started last year, and it was just a simple conversation between myself and Dina, and then it just blossomed. And I'll tell you a funny story very quickly, that the original person who was supposed to be with Dina and I was someone completely different from that I had met through the Gaia Network.
Yeah.
And when I was like putting it all together, subconsciously, I swear Spirit was with me, I had written Lily Lee and put it into the original format. And Dina looked at it and she goes, you've got Lily's name in there. And I was like, I do. And I was like, okay. And then it's the person that was supposed to be pulled out, and Lily just flowed right in. That's
a precog moment. That's precognition.
Yeah.
Big time. That's incredible. Wow. I was very privileged and honored actually that you asked me to what's the word? Proofread and review before it came out. So I was one of the first people, real life people outside your group, who got to see and read it, and I was blown away. I literally was into it. It was so beautiful. It really is a gift, and I think that's what I said. I can't remember my words exactly, but
I can read them for you if you like.
Oh my God, yes, do. Why not?
She wrote on the back, along with Raschell, but she wrote, "It has been an honor and a privilege to experience the magic and the beauty of this divinely channeled collaboration, infused with love, light, and wisdom. Rochelle's nurturing words hold you in a sacred space, whilst Dina's stunning artwork playfully invites your heart and soul to explore beyond the physical, and Lily's light code activations. Wow. Intricate yet delicate, their powerful presence gently weaves through the art of words and codes, guiding your journey of transformation. Such an exquisite gift to self. I was moved to tears. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I
That's
was moved
your
to
lovely
tears.
words. It is an experience. It's a journey.
It
It's
is.
not a book you pick up and you read. It's a book that you go through, you look at, you embrace the art, you embrace the words, you embrace the codes.
You
And
imbibe it.
yeah, and
Oh,
each time you pick it up, it's going to be different. It's not going to
yes.
be the same. It
Yes.
really is.
Yes.
No.
And that's how that's how I experienced it. And it truly was exquisite. And I remember just reading at my own pace, and then at different times, different things would just pop out at me. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to have my own real life physical copy. Seriously. I'm going to be like, right, let's order. Yeah, imbibing it.
You know what? It's a beautiful collaboration. These channeled messages that I have in here,
Yes.
I channeled in 2019. I had gone through a massive upheaval in my life and would wake up at 2, 3 in the morning and would scribe them. I had no idea what I was writing. I kept saying to Spirit, could you slow down? Because I can't write that fast. So I would try to write, because if you read it, it's not it's not how I would speak.
No.
And so I wrote it and then just left it and waited. And Dina showed up.
Incredible.
Then Lily showed up. Lily lives in my own backyard. She's like 20 minutes from me, which
crazy.
I thought was crazy.
Do you know what I loved actually at the beginning of the book, when you each, from your own perspectives, share how you guys met? It's gorgeous. It's just, and then I kind of tag in at the end on the 11/11 in November, where we actually all meet, and it's just, oh,
that was
thank you.
incredible. And I know Lily and Dina agree as well, that it was just November 11th. It was like in Manhattan, in the little restaurant,
Random
TikTok. And it was crazy. And I know that the girls agree that, we just sat there and it was like we're in our own little bubble. And it was beautiful.
In my head, I was in, like in Star Wars, where they go into the bars and stuff.
Yes.
Those scenes, and there's like these all weird and wonderful characters that are there. In my head, like tonight, with Dina when she came on, I was channeling Dragon. Tonight, Matthew, I am channeling my inner fairy, which, and I feel like a fairy tonight. But why am I saying this? I can't remember. I've totally lost track. No, that's right. So it really reminded me of that. And it was just mystical. And it could have been, it was almost like we had a bubble around us. And just the way it all just gelled and came together, and what we were talking about, anybody else listening over going, what the fuck are they on? I'm like,
But do you notice that, and I know Lily and Dina agreed to this too, is that nobody really bothered us. It's like people.
No, it's like we were invisible.
But they just kind of like went by as if we weren't even there. But
completely. Bubble. And we were noisy. We were giggling our heads off and all sorts. But it was almost like we had an invisibility cloak around us, is how it felt.
Yes.
Beautiful. Absolutely. It really sticks out to me. It really does. And it's just the date I can't even speak.
Everything that day was synchronistic when we were in Manhattan. And even just doing this book has been synchronistic.
Yes.
And there will be, after the launch, we are doing something, I think May or June, just give a little information.
Tell about. Yes. Tell about.
Yeah, where we're going to do something very nice. So we're kind of working on that, because we'd really like to show the art, Dina's beautiful art. We'd like to talk a little bit about the story. Ooh. And a few other things. So that's coming. We're kind of
nice. And is that like a live event that you're doing?
Yes. So all three of us will be there. Yes.
Oh, May, June, you say?
May, June in Toronto. Yeah. So if you live in Toronto,
I'm just thinking.
Messages. Come hang out.
I'm thinking, can I come? But aren't you coming to the UK?
That
When are you
was
coming
what
to the
I'm
UK?
planning. There's a lot going on right now.
So hold on a minute. I'm going to come out to Toronto for you to come basically over to the UK.
We'll have to have a conversation about this because,
I
like,
think we need to. Yes,
yeah,
yes. Because you've got me really excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? I'd love to be a part of it. Yes, I want to come, Lily. Yes.
look at Lily. She's like,
Yes, I know. I know. How exciting. And when we spoke last, I'm trying to think, it was just after Christmas, I think, just
okay.
before, something like that. Tell me what's been happening. What else have you been going into? What have you been up to? Apart from obviously doing this book.
The book. A lot of different stuff. Just trying to sort of hone in. I made some changes with regards to my podcast, and some strategic moves where I'm going and the message that I'm sharing
Yeah.
with humanity, and really striving to support humanity, support people in understanding the empowerment of their story and how that relates to them and how they can really create the reality, because it starts all within. So my Discover Your Blueprint is coming out in April. There'll be another 3 month, like a 3 month thing course on it, but I'm still in the process of changing that because, you know what, I'm at a point now in my life where I really want to support people, but in a bigger way. So I'm not sure how that
Mhm.
looks. I don't know. We'll see how things go, how it all
Well,
unfolds.
it
But
will unfold. It will unfold.
yeah.
We have joined forces for a reason.
Hmm.
And I mean, I don't think we spoke about this last time, but I absolutely love the work you do with your homeopathy side of things, with the herbs, with your it's natural medicine healing.
Mhm.
It's incredible.
It's
It's
actually
incredible.
funny. It's been actually keeping my kids. They've been sick off
Yeah,
and on for like a month and a half.
yeah,
Um, and of course, you give them the stuff and then they go right back out and, get sick again. But it's kept them like from not ending up in doctor's offices and hospitals
yeah,
just by giving them the homeopathy as well as the tinctures and the herbs to
yeah.
try and keep them, and kids don't always listen to you. They're like, you should stay home and rest. And the next thing you know, they're out again. And you're
Yeah,
like,
of course they are.
I'm
They're like,
talking to a
no,
wall
I'm
here.
fine. I'm
I'm
fine. I'm
fine.
going to go
You can do
party.
it.
Yeah. But is that something that was handed down, or was it something that you've always been interested in? Tell me about that journey in terms of discovering all of
Sure.
that.
So I think, well, I'm from the UK originally. My parents were very much about eating healthy,
Mm,
eating from the ground. My father was big on that.
mm.
And so, of course, when you see a parent doing that, you
Yeah.
start to reciprocate. You do the same
Yeah.
because you follow, you watch, right? Children don't listen by you telling them; they
No.
they follow by you doing.
Hmm.
And so, I was very much grew up with taking good food, some vitamins, eating healthy, eating good, drinking good water. My father was very much into making sure the water was clean that we were drinking. And I think it was my son's birth, and he got some issues with his skin, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I'd gone to a regular doctor, and she had said to me, "Oh no, your son's going to be on a seasonal puffer for the rest of his life." And I literally looked at her like, "Yeah, okay, sure, sure." And that's when I started, talking to different people. And I had a beautiful Brazilian friend who said, "Look, I know this Russian homeopathic doctor. Would you like to connect with her?" And so I did. And that's where the story began, because I
Wow.
realized that everything, again, back to what I also teach, is emotion. So if we hold the emotion within our
Yes.
body, right, it causes inflammation, it causes
Yep.
issues to our body. So I learned through homeopathy that you have to find things that can help balance what's not balanced in your body, and like versus like. So something that can kill you can also save you. So, I think I've said this story before where I got bitten by a spider, not once, twice, but many times, because I was sleeping and the spider came down. I was out in the woods building some stuff with a friend, and I had gone and was trying to figure out what medication to take. And the other doctor had said to me, you know, what bit you? We made sure it wasn't poisonous. And then I started having anxiety attacks. So she said, I'm going to give you tarantula venom, which is like it's spun and it's very broken down. And literally within half an hour, I was calm again. It took about 3 days, but then it was all the poison was out of my body. So it really depends on what the issues are. The thing that and even I notice my children are doing this. When they get sick, I will say to them, how are you presenting? What are your symptoms? Because based on your symptoms, then I can pick the medicine that fits it best. Because a stuffy nose can be totally different. Are you a stuffy nose where you feel tired at night? Do you feel cold? Is it in the head? Is it in here? Is it in the lymph nodes? Like all those things make sense because then the medicine changes. So it's...
Oh my gosh, it just it's perfect. It really is. And I remember when we first met and when you were telling, I'm so intrigued because it's something I've always been drawn into. At one point, I was going to start looking into some Ayurvedic medicine and looking more into that. But then I guess doing my GPing and the holistic work that I'm doing, it's enough. It keeps me out of mischief. It keeps me busy enough as it is. So I think I guess in my own way, not through herbs, but through the power of the mind, your thoughts, the emotions, the awareness, which is what comes through. But anybody who needs a bit of a helping hand with their health and nutrition, I'm sending them to you, big time. And, that's the thing. I love the way. Do you know what just popped into my head then? I love the way these connections appear. I just got this image. I'll share it with you. I lit little fireflies almost, and they're all sort of pinging in their own little dimensions, but they're all joined up. And then they're all coming together, and it's like the four of us are dancing round. I've gone completely loopy now, but we're dancing round in a circle, and it's the light, and it is the interweaving of our energies and what you bring and what Dina brings and what Lily brings. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's beautiful. Stuff like that. It just never fails to amaze me and just make me go, that's magic.
I think what's interesting is we are on different continents. We never knew each other. And it was as if God was like, okay, you know what? We're gonna bring you all together because now is the time. Now is the time where you need to start sharing these messages. It's interesting, and I'll just add this quickly because, as you know, numerology is something I do and I teach, and I've been doing it for years.
Oh, I'm fascinated. Yes.
What is so interesting, and this is, again, we've had this conversation, it depends, if you're open to this, what the collective consciousness is open to. So, for example, when I first introduced numerology and started talking about it and did a couple of courses back in 2021, people were aware of it, but they weren't really into it. Now it's on every platform I see it. And I think it's hilarious because it's something I've been studying since, oh my gosh, my dad changed all of our names when I was 15. And I don't live my life by it, but I guide it. So I make choices based on vibrational energies and whether or not to make decisions in my life. So it does make sense. And it's something that is very important.
Yeah. I remember as a kid reading like these magazines that we used to get. You might remember actually in the UK, it was like Just 17 and I can't remember the other ones now, like Mix Mag or something. No, Mix Mag was the music magazine. Anyway, Just 17. And there'd be like these personality quizzes and stuff like this about what number are you? And you would tot it all up and then you'd find out. I've always been fascinated, always. And ever since, I've been learning through numerology and I automatically, if it's a date of something, or you quickly add up the numbers, get it down to the final number.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, that's an auspicious number. I know that. Do you know what I mean? And it's just...
It is very interesting. I do say to people, though, this, and if you go back to sort of like the biblical times, you will see that people named their children and this is why the names are so important, you know, the son of Muhammad or the son of Abraham. They didn't
Yeah.
steer too much, because when you have a big, huge name, all those letters have to be added up, and it can be kind of overwhelming. So even though your soul chose to experience an expression to come in from a number from 1 to 9, each number is different, right? Like a 5 is a traveler. The 1 is the starter of everything. They are the epiphany of everything, right? A 3 is communications. That's why you'll find a lot of artists and celebrities are 3s. But the thing is, if the name is unbalanced next to the birth path, what ends up happening is that the vibration, the expression of that 3 cannot fully come to fruition because the name is not balanced. Hence the reason my father looked at all of our numbers and decided to change our names, because our names were not balanced with
Got you.
path. You can't change your birth path. So this is the thing that a lot of times I notice on certain platforms they don't show you, is because your name has a frequency, a huge frequency, and how you write your name has a frequency, how you say your name. So if you are, and we've talked about this, if your name is John, but everybody calls you JR or Jojo, it's going to have a different frequency than John.
Yes.
So you have to look at all of those attributes, and it does affect it. So it's there's a lot to it. But again, I go back to the collective consciousness of now it's out there. It's open. People are aware of it. So now people are starting to realize they have a lot more control of their life through understanding frequencies.
Yes. And also it plays back down to it's understanding yourself even more so.
Yes.
And it can sometimes highlight things that you're not even aware of. So why you might be drawn to certain, I don't know, career choices, for example, or your values, your beliefs even. And it's fascinating because I know for me, I can't remember what number I am for my name, but I never do my name. I can't remember. I'll be doing it later for sure. But I know, so my first name, Nupi, that's how I've always gone by. So my full name is Nupur, but I never go by that ever. So it's always been Nupi. So that's the name I resonate with. So, but my birth number, that one, 18, my birth date, I'm not going to say it out loud, is a 1. And it's incredible because everything is like, that just makes perfect sense. The things I'm drawn to naturally. Oh, I love it. I'm fascinated.
It does. It even goes down to the food that you like, to what health issues you can have or not have. It does. It really does. And so it's interesting. It's very interesting.
I feel like a little kid. I'm like,
well, you know,
I'm like, teach me, tell me more.
I think I showed Dina to a little bit, and it just even understanding each year and understanding each month, so that you can sort of make choices. So a friend of mine is looking for something, and I kept saying to them, just wait, this is not going to be the month. And they're like, no, I'm gonna keep. I said, you can look, but it's not going to wait till next month. Next month is a better vibration. It's a 1-6, which is beginnings. 6 is a good thing to start something new. So I said, just wait, because 9s are all about endings, right? So I was like, this is a 9 vibration. Maybe not the best time to do that, right?
Yes. I've learned so much from you. I really have, just from those numbers and, you know, the meanings in the years in terms of where you are in your life path almost. It's brilliant. It's incredible.
It gives you insight as to what you want to do. And I started sharing this and wanting to teach this because I was like, you can change your life just by understanding where you are and purposely making choices or not making choices based on where you are. And that was what I've done. You know, there's certain years you just don't do things. Like in a 4-year, you wouldn't buy a house, you wouldn't start a relationship, you wouldn't buy a car. If you choose to, which of course some of us were like, well, I kind of need to, just know that it probably won't last.
Yeah.
So be prepared.
And then it's free will at the end of the day, and take it also it's not prescriptive that this is definitely not going to work, or it is going to be, the be and an end all. It's the intention. It's also about your own intention, and then see. But when we've been talking, and I was saying certain aspects that has brought me to where I am now, it is absolutely on those exact numbers of change, new beginnings,
Yep.
and bringing it forward. And yeah, it's brilliant. So good.
It's interesting, and I've seen it over the last. Well, my dad did it since I was 15, and I've watched him literally tell me things and say, that's not going to work for that person. He doesn't know that person. He just looks at the numbers, and the exact thing he said to me has actually happened.
Yeah.
And I remember saying it to an old boss and said, "Oh, you probably shouldn't have started that company. That's because I was." And they looked at me after. They're like, "Why didn't you tell me?" I said, "Really? Are you really going to listen to your assistant? Don't start this company because it's going to go bankrupt in this many years."
Bloody
right?
would. I'd be like, well, like you do. I'm like going, Raschell, when should we put the house on the market? Raschell, when should I do this? No, but it's true. But this dates back. This has been, I remember my my mum telling me about, in ancient Hindu ceremonies, etc. And people would, they'd look, it'd be the astrology charts as well. And they would choose certain dates for auspicious occasions. And or even if two people in different families they're planning a wedding, for example, they would specifically choose certain dates. This is ancient.
Yes.
This goes back to Egyptian times, to the sea.
There's a book by Dolores Cannon called The Jesus and the Essenes. And you look at the Essenes, what they did. They based everything on the stars and on the numerology.
Yes, I was just going to say yes.
And they would actually not put two couples together unless their frequency of numbers were balanced to work together, because it was not meant to be, right? It just wouldn't work, because each of the numbers, the odd and the evens, have different vibrations and they have different attributes. So sometimes when you're in a relationship, friendship, or even a romantic, it's not going to always work because there's such a diversity of your attributes that it ends up being in, I don't want to say negative, but there's more challenge than there is flow, right?
Yeah.
So this is why they were very specific. And it's been around for, I think my father had said to me when I was little, it was like the type of numerology he was studying was over 5,000 years old.
Yeah.
So it was very old, and it's very accurate. And it's knowledge that has been around for a very long time.
Yes.
It's been hidden.
Yes. Yes.
Not a,
and it comes out in different ways. It's not called numerology, but it'd be called something else. And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think you should do you're a busy lady. Oh, where's she gone? Okay. You're very busy. I know you are, but just something to think about. A modern version almost of this that we're talking about for the here and the now, which makes absolute sense relative to our world now. I would buy it. I think you need to.
Interesting. That's very interesting. It has been in my consciousness to kind
of
back out again, because I did start it in 2021, but I remember speaking with my good friend Georgia Jean, and she had said it's just not out there in the collective.
It is now.
It is now.
It is now.
Massive amounts.
I think you should. And I've already got some ideas. We could have some artwork from Dina. Oh my goodness, this is volume 2. This is the book. This is the what's the word called? The follow-up.
The follow-up, yes. Yeah, there is a lot. Yeah,
Lily can do some light codes through it. I'll review it again and just put my
Loopy's got a whole thing. She's like, let me just tell you what you guys are going to be doing over the next little while. I love it. Well, we'll see
what will I be doing? I'll be like, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I'm just, there you go. Off you go. Oh
I
my
love it.
gosh. Oh my gosh. I've just seen the time and I've just seen Russ's message. Blimey, gosh, that went too quick. That's
That's
gone too
okay.
quickly. I
There's
know.
lots of great
Yes.
information, lots of stuff.
Yes,
It's
yes,
definitely,
absolutely.
if you've got
So
questions.
remind everybody, when is your beautiful collaboration coming out?
The book.
Yes, the book.
So the book is on Wednesday, the spring equinox, March 20th. The book will be
Beautiful.
out. So definitely look for us, myself, Dina, and Lily sharing our links. And I just wanted to give a little bit of a pump to this. Misty Lee is
Yes.
the beautiful supporter and helper for everything. She is a wonderful publisher, but also doing so many other incredible things. The support around this book is also, some of the donations will be going to her Hayden's Rays Foundation organization. Hope I said that right. To support her son who passed last year. We want to definitely give back and share that. We asked Raschell Atkins, who was wonderful, to also give a review, who has been such an amazing catalyst and supporter. And I just love her, super mom. And of course, you, Nupi, who has been there for us. And we're so glad we got to all meet you. And that's a funny story, but for another time, how you know, we were all like, I'm going to New York. And Lily's like, do I need to go? Should I go? And look, it all worked out. So it was meant to be. But so many blessings for this book, because it's a gift. It's a gift to everybody and anybody who chooses to purchase it. You're giving to a wonderful foundation, as well as a beautiful journey for yourself.
Beautiful. Gorgeous. Right, birthday girl, I shall come and join you in the green room as I very, very quickly wrap up. Very late. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I could listen to that woman for hours. She has the most beautiful, soothing voice. And I'm literally like a little kid going, oh, tell me more. I need to understand more about numerology. But I think we need a book. We need a part 2 and a part 3 for this show. Thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. And don't forget, Raschell and Lily and Dina's gorgeous collaboration is coming out in 2 days' time. And I think all the links are going to be in the show notes as well. So please do look out for it. And just before I say goodbye, you can find me here every Monday at 8 p.m. GMT, even though it is 7 p.m. right now. Well, it's not, but normally it's 8 p.m. GMT, which is 12 noon Pacific Daylight Time. I'm not even going to go there with Eastern because it's too confusing. And you can also get hold of me on LinkedIn via my Calendly link or direct message me. And if you can't get hold of me, please get hold of my big bro and amazing producer, Russ Hedge, at russhedge.com, because he will get hold of me. Have an amazing week, and I shall see you again next week. Bye.